Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Sander. I'm a good friend of Jean's, and I live in Belgium, which is right. It's not on the map. It's somewhere over there.
Sander 和我在纽约认识，我们变熟的契机是因为我们都没有带冬天的衣服来纽约，所以我们就一起去买衣服。尽管他在毕业后就回比利时，但我们还是继续保持联络。This is a story about him during the pandemic. Enjoy.
Can you briefly talk about the timeline of the coronavirus outbreak in Belgium?
In Belgium, yeah. So, I guess it's the actual lockdown measures. They started about a year ago, whereby suddenly schools were closed, universities were closed. We weren't really teaching classes anymore, and then everyone was in lockdown. And I started living at home with 5 other people, which lasted for about a couple months. And then when summer came, there were a few restrictions. Life was like not back to normal, but almost back to normal. And then from October on, I guess everything went into lockdown, and we have been in lockdown basically ever since.
How did you feel when the government ordered a lockdown the first time?
I kind of felt excited in a way. I didn't immediately think oh shit, what is this? Because I thought it was an interesting experiment, socially, because you're forced to live at home, and everyone's forced to not see their friends as much, and just learn to spend time by themselves, be happy just being at home.
Do you want to share about what do you do for work?
What I do for work, I am a PhD student in computational physics. So I do computer simulations on advanced materials basically, and we research their properties, and we kind of try to predict which materials would be useful for industry to produce on a larger scale. In a nutshell.
How have you managed to work from home?
I didn't. All in all, it was fine. I don't have small kids that bother me, during the day or.
But it's still quite hard for you to adjust.
I'd say about 50% productivity loss, at least.
And do you expect the government lift up the restrictions soon?
Actually, as of now, they're talking about making them much stronger again, because the numbers have been going up, but they've been way too slow in vaccinating people. So they're afraid of another wave, so they're probably going to get the country in lockdown again. But yeah, we'll know that next day or tomorrow.
So I read some information online saying that Belgium, compared to other countries in Europe, you have pretty high rates of coronavirus cases. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I'm not a data analyst, and I didn't study the data that much in detail, but I do know that Belgium is one of the only countries in the world that actually reports confirmed COVID deaths as well as suspected COVID deaths. In the sense that our excess mortality is actually negative. So that way we know that we definitely don't underestimate the amount of deaths, whereas a lot of other countries, I think a lot of other countries, let's say, they have a lot of excess mortality, which means that they drastically underestimate the impact of COVID. So I think that partially explains it, I would say.
What has been the most difficult part for you to adjust during this pandemic?
The fact that, I guess one of the things is the fact that it's hard to develop new social relations, either make new friends or meet someone, meet a significant other. That's been, I guess that's the biggest change for me, is that's no longer happening. Apart from that, I'm still able to say the sports I like mostly. I'm able to do my job. I live in a house. Like nothing's changed that much. It's just the social aspect.
What kind of sports do you play?
So,
what have you learned from the pandemic?
so, what have I learned? I learned that I need social interaction a lot more than I thought I needed it. I learned that working from home is just not for me. I need a place to work that's different from my bedroom. I learned that living together with other people isn't always easy.
So, if the pandemic were a person, what would you say to him or her?
That's very difficult. So I'm a scientist, so it's very hard for me to think of a pandemic as a person. Because I don't, as you know, like, I don't think that the pandemic happened because of some reason or because of God or because of Jesus or whatever. So if it was a person, nothing, like just go away.
Can you look at the camera and say it?
Go away.
Oh my god, it's rain. It's snowing. Your head is like white. You look like a grandma.
Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and then you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, love, love. Listen to the movement of the moon, little dead ends and sing. It's one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait.
It seems like you sleep everywhere.
Our time is short.
Going to Miami.
Jin, Jin, Jin.
Are you enjoying showing Jing around again? Yeah, of course. Jing is the best.
He's kind of annoying.
Are you still injured?
Yeah, a little bit. My elbow, my knee, my shin. Yeah, no, it jumps around. Because I'm weak.
Okay, I didn't say that for record. I didn't say that.
No, but it's true. My body is weak. It is fundamentally weak. My bones are shit. I mean, yeah.
I think that's a genetic thing.
It makes
Show
it.
to Mark.
Yeah. No, it's actually not Mark. It's the other one.
Do you have any people you want to shout out?
I'll give a shout out to to Jack for keeping me entertained while I work at home, sitting on my bed, shedding hair on my bed.
Oh, you're so cute, Jack.
A shout out to my parents for keeping a door open for me, having me stay over, eat their food. No. Yeah. Nothing in particular.
Thank you, Sander.
Thank you, Jean.